And one other thing, dang, I got a lot of bruises. The other thing I was getting ready to, I bruise easily, I'm not being beaten. The other thing I was getting ready to say is, I thought about this, I just got out of the shower, and it was on my mind that I love my church. I grew up in the church. It's my grandfather's church, and now it's my uncle's church. I'm not going to say it's his church, but it's our family's church, and my uncle ended up taking it over, and now he's the pastor there. My grandfather was the bishop. My grandmother's still there as well. And I grew up in this church, and I love my church, but when I started listening or watching 2819, Pastor Philip, and I watch all the pastors, I listen to all the sermons, I listen to all of them because they're equally giving a message that we need to hear. But I will say this, for a very long time, I was that child in church who could not hear unless it was the right person speaking. When my pastor Vi, my grandmother, my grandfather's wife, started preaching, I could understand her clearly, and I always wanted to hear her pray. I always wanted to hear her preach, and I felt she really could touch me. Pastor Philip, he's fire and brimstone. So if you ever paid attention to how many views, and Pastor would say this all the time, we're all preaching the same thing. Don't worship me, and I never worship him in any kind of way. I know it's just a message from who I needed to hear it from. So I don't worship him, but at the same time, if you ever look at how many views he has versus the other pastors, the only reason why is because some of us are that hard-headed child you have to yell at. I need the soft touch and the soft tone sometimes to let me know that God is love and he is peace and he is kind and he is gentle. But in order to get me to heaven and get me to be right and to listen, to be obedient, I need somebody to yell at me and to tell me where I'm at risk of going versus where I should be going. That's probably why a lot of us are tired of hearing the cookie cutter, like he says, you will all make it to heaven. Just keep on making, just, day by day, get right. Some of us need to be slapped in the face. I was one of them. And that's why I take heed and I listen, and it's very easy to understand because I've always been sitting around waiting for the world to have preachers like this. Some of us need to be yelled at.